I feel like there's never been a better time to be a watch collector, especially if you don't want to spend a lot of money. There are plenty of options out there that you can get sort of a hyper watch, something that looks really cool, that functions differently from your normal everyday watch. However, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get that look anymore. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Lorcem. This is their LS02. It has a dial that has tons of layers to it and an in-house module. So let's flip the camera and take a look at an affordable hyper watch from Lorcem. Today we're taking a look at a regulator watch from Lorcem. This is the LS02. And this is not a skeletonized watch. It almost looks like it is. There's just a lot of layers to this dial. I'm going to start with talking about the general functionality. So this is a regulator. If you're not familiar with a regulator, essentially all this does is split out the functions of telling the time. So you have the hours here at the top, the minutes at the bottom. There's a running seconds in the center. On the left side over here, you're getting a day-night indicator. That's one of the gears that you could see that are exposed. Now, all the gearing is really exposed on this module. It's actually pretty cool. That's the date at the 3 o'clock. You can just look through that little porthole. There's a little date down there. It's in a silver color, so it sort of blends in a little bit. You do have a lot of different tones of gray. So there's a lot of different tones of stainless steel, and then the hands have a little bit of red on them, so they actually stand out a lot. And you can see there's gearing behind those hands. You can see the gearing that is exposed on the module. Now the module on this watch is actually created by Barons. If you're not familiar with Barons, Barons is a high-end Asian brand. I believe they're in Hong Kong or China, and they make very high-end watches. They sell for sometimes in the tens of thousands of dollars. They've collaborated with brands like Chaikin on their clown watch, and I think they came out with a few different versions now. So very expensive watches, and they are actually making these modules that go into these watches, and I believe they assemble these watches as well. The movement that they're using in here is a Miyota movement. So this is a 9015, and it's a 9015 because you are getting a date. So you do get to see the movement from the back, and it's lightly decorated. Obviously, you're getting a little bit of a custom rotor. It's pretty standard 9015 or 9000 series from Miyota. You get a screwed-in case back. I think this only gets like 30 or 50 meters of water resistance, which kind of makes sense. It's a dress watch that is a regulator. This comes in at around 43 millimeters at the case. You have almost a 51 millimeter lug span. It's under 51 millimeters, and then it's around 12 millimeters thick. The crown is around 6.8 millimeters. It is signed. You do get a sapphire crystal on the front and the back of this watch. This comes on a alligator style strap. I don't think this is actually alligator, but it's an Italian made leather strap. And you have a really nice buckle on here that is signed. Lots of layers to the dial, and that's kind of the reason why you would buy this watch. If you are interested in watches that look sort of technical, this definitely looks very technical. You also have these two rings that are around the hour and minute tracks, for lack of a better term, and those are loomed. So there are applied indices that are loomed. They're very, very small, and I believe the hands are loomed as well. I even think that the second hand is loomed, the counterbalance is loomed, which I like. This is the other watch of theirs that I reviewed. This is the Moon Date, a really good looking watch with an aventurine background, a photorealistic moon. A little bit hard to tell the time on, but interesting second hand in the middle. It's just like a little fan that moves around. It's really cool. Very, very interesting watch as well. Also powered by the same movement. So this gets a Miyota, I think, of 9039. There it is on my 7.5 inch wrist. This is a 43 millimeter watch. The lug span is under 51 millimeters and it's around 12 millimeters thick. I think it looks perfect on my 7.5 inch wrist. It is on the larger side, but considering what is going on the dial and the complication and how to balance that, I think they need the space. So I think it works really well. So the price on this watch is around $2,150, somewhere in that neighborhood, depending on the exchange rate. I don't think that's all that bad considering the complication that you're getting, the design here, and who's actually making it. Barron's, who makes a lot more expensive watches. So the fact is that this is not an easy watch to make, and I think, you know, the price here is kind of justified because of that. So the lume is interesting, just not a lot of it. The indices on the hour and minute tracks are loomed, the hands are loomed, and then there is a little bit of a counterbalance on the seconds that is also loomed, but everything is so small that it's not liberally applied with lume, so it's not going to last a very long time. However, it's kind of a dress watch. The fact that it has lume is great, so I'm not complaining. And it's hanging on pretty well. You know, you can see that it's still there and it's working. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of Barron's making this watch? Does it add value for you? Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It's super helpful for the channel and I very much appreciate it. And that's really it, guys. Thank you for logging on. I will catch you guys in the next video.